Hello, welcome to this. Oh, my cat's not very happy with me. For what reason, I could not tell you, but this is going to be a video kind of reflecting on being 24 years old. I'm turning 25 in like 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks now. So I kind of wanted to reflect on this past year because I feel like it was a very transformative year for me, more so than most other ones that I can remember anyway, which I thought was interesting. So I thought I'd kind of like look into the different ways that it was transformative and the things that changed and the things I learned. And I think it was an important year. So I think it'll be nice to have this to look back on. 24 for me was very much a year of growing. I think I grew in a lot of ways, and I think it kind of stands out because I noticed the growth as it was happening, which I think I've had a hard time noticing in the past. So it felt more impactful in that way to me. I will say it's not from my, oh, hey, don't get near the fire. And I will say a lot of the difference and a lot of like the good parts of being 24 came because I started my ADD medication. I can definitely see a big difference from before and after starting medication. So big shout out to ADD medication. It's not just magically you turn 24 and you start to like do things better and things start clicking. A lot of times you have to treat your mental illness. Well, not mental illness. Treat your conditions. Spot them and treat them. So that's what I started doing. To look back, I'm going to kind of do a brief summary of like chronologically what went down when I was 24. And then at the end, I'll kind of look overall at what happened, what changed, and what I think about me and my life. Hey, my kitty likes to scratch for my attention. Come here. So I started 24 being a bartender. And it was actually 3 different bars. It was all the same owner, the same building. But different shifts would be in different bars, which was kind of fun. Each one had like a different feel. So being a bartender brought me out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways, made me talk to people that I probably would have never talked to otherwise. It brought me social interactions that I was not having otherwise because my only other job at the time was doing some like marketing and graphic design remotely for a part-time job, so not even doing it that often. So a lot of just sitting at home wishing I had more work to do. So bartending at least let me meet some people, talk to people, and I made friends with the other bartenders. And working a lot of times felt like hanging out because of just the environment there, so that was always nice. I look back on it fondly. I think I'm really happy I did it, but I really doubt I'll ever do it again. I learned that I am not a night person. I'm not a night owl. I'm just not built that way, and pretty much everyone in that industry is built that way. Like they are all waking up at noon and they're all going to bed at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I tried so hard to keep up, but it's just not in me. I learned something about myself in that way. Something else chronologically, I guess, further into being 24, probably like 6 months into it. And during this whole kind of bartending period, I was really like declining in my self-confidence a little bit, but more so in my effort to care, or I tried not to care very much about like what I was consuming, what I was spending my time doing. I was drinking a lot. I ate kind of whatever. Living that lifestyle for a while and going out a lot and trying to be nocturnal, I was able to see how a lot of other people live, and something clicked in me that like that's just not how I can live. This isn't sustainable, and I won't be happy if I keep doing this. I was also like the biggest I've ever been weight-wise. I was not exercising at all, and my sleep schedule was destroyed. My diet was destroyed. I was definitely physically not in the best state either, so I think I learned a lot and I made good friends. But it also like helped me realize what I needed moving forward. And then I started my big girl job, which is very exciting. I started that job in September. I have a full-time salary job doing design. So that includes graphic design, editorial design, website design, product design, just kind of everything visual encapsulated is my job right now. I'm working in person, and it has really made me realize like the kind of schedule that works for me, which you wouldn't think is that important, but having a stricter routine and somewhere to be and somewhere to leave at certain times. And I don't know. It's like magic to me. I don't know how to describe it. I haven't even been there that long, but I feel like I'm a lot happier now that I'm there. So to kind of finish out the chronological section of this, I basically split this into first half of being 24 was bartending, over consuming, not moving, feeling kind of like a lesser version of myself, but not feeling a lot of motivation to fix that. And it was like 3 or 4 months into that I started the ADD medication. And I think the ADD medication helped me in a lot of ways, but it also made me realize that I cannot be here any longer. Like, I need to change because my brain's just not wired to be a bartender. It's just not. And then the second half of being 24 was getting my new position. Last little part I'll put in for the chronological section of this is in October, like earlier, like before Halloween, whenever Hurricane Helena came through, we evacuated for that hurricane, and thank God we did, because we ended up having a tree fall on our apartment and it crushed the roof in and it fell into our living room area. And yeah, it was kind of jarring. It was really sad. It's hard to describe. When I think back on it, I just think about how lucky we ended up being, because we lost like our TV stand, our couch, and some media stuff, some books, but so many of our books and our like personal belongings ended up being okay. Thank God. I really did not expect that, because we were out of town at the time. And so we came back home like 2 days later to see like what the damage was, not really knowing what we still owned, what was ruined. All our clothes was fine. Electronics were fine. Our mattress was fine. It was just mainly like some furniture that we then had the excuse to replace. Definitely a highlight of being 24 was having a tree fall into my apartment. It was an emotionally tough time for me and my boyfriend, because that was like our first place together. Being in there and seeing the whole roof and the walls gone was very disorienting, very just sad. It's just sad. But we got really lucky. Our family helped us move. It was a very quick transition. I wasn't out of a home really for very long, so that was huge. And yeah, just all the help made everything a million times better. And now we have a second place together that looks pretty much identical to the first place. The only difference is it has 1 bathroom instead of 2 bathrooms, and it has like mirror closets, which we didn't have before. Literally the same exact layout otherwise. So I sometimes kind of forget that we moved, but then I remember, oh, we didn't have this nice couch before, and it's because there was a tree that messed up our other one. So tree fiasco done. Then I just keep continuing my full-time job, and that leads me here. Obviously, a bunch of other stuff happened, but I think that's just how I kind of divide up the time in my mind when I look back on it. So I wrote some things that stuck out to me about this year and kind of made note of the way I started looking at things. That definitely changed. I did not think of things the same way when I was 23, and I did not have the same habits. I did not have the same motivation. And again, shout out ADD medication. I think a lot of this is because I'm treating it now. I think 24 is such an interesting age, 24, 25, because you're on the cusp of like early adulthood and like straight up being on your own. Like you're kind of in that you're kind of in that transitional period between having classes and like kind of still having your parents support you in some ways. And this is obviously not the case for everybody, but kind of having that to lean on, like whether it's like school loans or like campus living, or your family's still kind of helping you out. And your main concerns are like, what are the plans this weekend? Going from that phase to, I need to figure out health insurance and I need to like figure out a budget and like save up and get like a consistent paycheck going so I can support myself, because it's getting real. And I think 24 can go in such different directions for different people, whether they decide to lean in to that early adulthood, like hanging on to 22, or being ready for what's next, springing forward, or what I'm trying to do, I think, is trying to find like some kind of balance between the two, which is hard. I made a note kind of related about how I used to really struggle with this kind of conflict between this version of myself that is supposed to be a responsible, mature adult, and another version of myself that's more childlike and still learning and still silly and still just not full adult in some ways. I think up until I was 24, it was always, I probably should pick one or the other. Like, I don't really see how they can coexist. But I think something that has really helped me out is learning to kind of have these two versions of me work in tandem, because they are both me, and I'm not gonna shut down one side of myself. And if anything, it makes me more interesting. Just giving myself the space to be both of those things, mature and on top of my shit, like cooking meals and meal planning and packing my lunches for work, but also like someone who is still playful and likes video games and drawing and like learning new things. I think you don't have to choose one. I think it kind of connects to all of this, but the biggest thing overall is I really started paying more attention to myself and caring. Before I was 24, I think it was really easy not to care. It was easier not to care about things. Like if my skin was bad, I just had this attitude of like, there's always something, like it's always bad. Like I thought my camera died, but I think I just don't understand how this camera works. Anyway, I was talking about, you just get into the habit of not caring and not paying attention to things, especially things about yourself. You just get used to things being not great, but it doesn't bother you as much because you're used to not caring. And like, what a lame way to live. Like, how depressing is that? And that's like how I was. That's something I realized like this year, that was like my attitude towards things, towards myself. Like anything about friends, about others, about responsibilities where others are counting on me, anything that someone else is viewing, like I am giving it my all because I just care. I cared. I mean, I still care, but I did not care about things that impacted just me. And I never did things that were just for me because I didn't want to do the hard part. And the first part is the hard part, where you actually pay attention and kind of assess what is wrong. And then you have to make a game plan for like, okay, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to tackle what's wrong and make it better, if it's possible anyway. But yeah, I just kind of got sick of not caring. I think my medication definitely helped with that. I think also it's important to take control of the things in your life that you have control over, because there's obviously, I'm sure we're all kind of feeling that way, how so much shit is out of our control and out of our hands, and everything can feel very helpless a lot of times. And being accountable for yourself, controlling the things you have control over, like your space, your body, your hygiene, your outfit, your time, just caring about those things is such a favor to yourself. And once you start feeling that kind of care from yourself and you realize how nice that is, it makes it easier to build that kind of attitude into every day and make it just your default. And again, I cannot speak for everybody. And again, I'm not under an illusion that I am 100% anything. What am I saying? I kind of came to the conclusion that caring about you is awesome, and it's not selfish, and it's important if you want to have ambition or care about anything else, really. Some overall changes I've noticed being 24 and like caring about me more and confronting the stuff I didn't want to before. I'm exercising a lot. I know that's like so annoying, like shut up. But it's like night and day, my mental health when I like work out in the morning versus not. If I'm moving my body like consistently, like I just feel so much happier. I just feel so much more confident. I think it becomes easier when you figure out what kind of workouts suck the least to you. For instance, I go to these Pilates / cardio type of workout classes every week at this like all women's gym. And they also have some classes that are like dance. It's not like Zumba necessarily, but we're like dancing, and it's so fun. And every time I go, I just like have so much fun and I feel so much better afterwards. And it's always giving me something to like be proud of myself for if I did nothing else that day. Like I got up and moved my body. It's no small thing. And then it's really exciting when you do it consistently enough that it just feels like a hobby. Like it feels like brushing my teeth. Like if I go however many days without moving, I feel like my breath probably stinks or something. Not literally, but you know, like like I need to move for my well-being, for my sake. So yeah, it's nice when you can finally get to that point. But I also know it's really fucking hard. Other things with my body, my skin, I have pretty bad eczema, and I've had acne since I was in middle school, and I've never really been able to tackle it. And now I've done some research, and I'm like trying one product at a time and doing it consistently morning and night and looking at my face and seeing if anything changed. And if something changed, like I know it would have to be that one product because it's the only thing I changed. And you would think this is like, a lot of this probably sounds like common sense, but before medication and before this point, I could not grasp the concept. Like I could not make myself care enough to do like something so simple. And it's just nice to know that I can do that now. It's such a difference. And yeah, I just feel like I'm nicer to myself. I feel like I'm here to help myself out. And then, and I'll wrap up kind of going back to my job that I really, really enjoy. I don't know why I get like giddy when I think about it. I just think I was so unhappy. Not so unhappy. I was just working little part-time remote job and doing like little side projects and like helping out people I knew with like doing little design stuff for them and their businesses, never finding anything that was full-time and that gave me some kind of purpose. And this job gives me things to shoot for. It gives me things I need to learn. Like I missed learning. I missed that a lot from being in school. It gave me things to work towards. I can see progress. I can see the things I do at work actually matter in some ways, at least to the company, not like in the world, I guess, but I'm making stuff that people care about. And I like my coworkers. I like working with women. I like my little office. And when I move later this year, they're going to let me go remote, which is super exciting. And they did not have to do that, but I just think I get along with them so well there that they wanted to extend that offer to me, which is really, really nice. But on top of all of that, I am big into my planning girl time. I use my planner every day. I am writing goals in there, not just work goals, like reading goals, exercise goals, travel goals, money goals. I'm keeping track of all that stuff because if I don't, it just like rattles around in my brain all day. I made a budget, which was very exciting for me. Yay. I've been like wanting to do that for so long. I made a little budget for myself so I can like see things I'm spending. Life changing. Again, another thing that I used to just, if I don't pay it any mind, it won't matter as much and it won't hurt as much. I'll just turn a blind eye. Same as like my bad skin and same as my health. And I was like, shut up and make a budget. And I did it. I didn't shut up, but I made a budget. And yeah, I'm like a planner nerd. I get excited about writing down my plans for the day and for the week and writing grocery lists. It's like awesome. So yeah, I mean, to wrap up, some things I think will happen when I'm 25, what 25 will be like. I'm definitely planning to push myself with new experiences. We already have the plan to move somewhere out of state, most likely in the summertime. So that'd be a big shift, obviously, meeting new people, finding my way around a new place. And also I want to start hobbies. I'm going to fit those little hobbies into my little planner and make so many schedules and so many goals. I'm so excited. Like I want to start either knitting or sewing. I haven't decided yet. I know it's like completely different, but I just want to like make a shirt so bad. Would be so cool with a sewing machine. But I also want to knit like a blankie. I don't know. To be determined. And then 25 is going to be a lot of reading and a lot of consuming media with intention because I'm sick of everything else. I feel like a lot of people are kind of in the same boat. It's just tiring to scroll. It's tiring to see the ads. It's tiring to learn nothing from hours of media consumption. So why not read something interesting, and why not learn something? Or why not watch like a really cool movie? Like my time is better spent elsewhere. So that is the goal for 25. And journaling a lot. I'm hoping to keep caring and keep paying attention to me and things around me. And I think journaling often will definitely help with that and help me understand what I need, what's working, what's not working, and just being more mindful with myself. I hope this didn't sound preachy. I just genuinely did not used to feel this way before I was 24 and before I was on medication. Like, I would never have been able to do half the things that I've been doing, and I would not be this excited about it. So I guess it's just something to celebrate and something to look back on as I turn 25. But yeah, I'm grateful for another year. I'm excited to see what 25 will bring. If you relate to any of this, please let me know. If 24 was very different for you, please let me know. I don't know, I just want to hear what you guys think about all of this. If you had a similar experience with medication, or if you've had similar experiences in that weird between early adulthood and adulthood time. I guess I'm still in it. I'm gonna still be in it for a while, but it's a unique experience. So if you're going through the same thing, let me know. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble. I'll probably be 25 when I see you next. So I'll see you then.